Welcome back to part 3. Now let's talk about sidearms. So with sidearms, you just need 5 polarities and a catalyst. The reason is you don't need magnum force because 1, that's not nearly as good as heavy caliber, and 2, being a rank 10 rare, it's really just not worth using it. And so this is a build I'm going with a Brakk. Now the Brakk is what I would consider to be the sort of all-purpose sidearm. Yes, it has that damage fall off, yes, it has that spread, so it's limited to short range, but as far as gameplay application goes, just because we don't really have that many top sidearms, the Brakk is definitely the one I will go to for my sort of all-purpose missions. The only mission I would consider not taking the Brakk would be my defense type missions, where the Angstrum does outshine the Brakk. Next, we have the Angstrum. Now, I've only actually put in one forma in this one right now. I am gonna put more in later on in the future, possibly, but even with one forma, it is extremely outstanding. Okay, so we're back at Satura again. Now we're gonna have a look at the Angstrum. Now, the Angstrum, I would say, is actually a lot easier to kill yourself with than the Pinta. But in a defense mission where you're on a high ground, there's no risk of killing yourself, and the Angstrum is definitely right up there. And just as I say that, I kill myself. It's because the shot got sort of reflected off the roof. So let's go climb back up. That's funny. If I can get back up there. Yeah, so make sure you step on the edge. So, like I was saying, if you're on a high ground and on an edge, there's no risk of you killing yourself, and the Angstrum does extremely high damage. I mean, I'm just on wave 1 now, but even if you're on wave 50, 60, the Angstrum, can definitely hold up its own. And I've actually just got one forma in there right now with 5 polarities. It'll definitely be one of the top weapons, sidearm or primary. And now let's have a quick look at the 2 melee weapons. So first up is the Ichor. So Ichor is definitely one of the most versatile weapons, melee weapons in the game, and where it really shines is traveling utility. Without Berserker, its traveling utility is not as good as the Zorans. With Berserker activated, it's actually much better than the Zorans. Not to mention, as far as damage dealing goes, it is one of the strongest melees in the game. So, as you can see, there's definitely some traveling utility here. And not to mention, again, its strong damage utility. And now we have the Dragon Nikana. Now, between the two, I would say Ichor is probably better just because it has that traveling utility, and with Berserker on, it is actually higher DPS wise from experience. With the Dragon Nikana, it does have the highest damage number, but having said that, as far as usage goes, it looks great, but it's probably outclassed by the Ichor. So let's jump into some Dragon Nikana gameplay. Now, you guys have probably realized I used a channeling build for the Dragon Nikana, but a non-channeling build for the Ichor. The reason for that I have explained before in my Melee 2.0 Explain and Optimized Modding Part 2 video. So, to quickly recap, the Dragon Nikana is a heavy hitter, the Ichor is a speed hitter. If you want to know what that means, please check out the video I just mentioned that explains everything. So with a channeling build, I actually, as you saw before, I have a life strike build here, so definitely not the most optimized damage, but you can pretty much steal one hit most enemies unless you're doing some kind of 30 plus defense or survival. It's just a T2 cap here again. I found these to be quite representative of sort of your everyday normal gameplay. But yeah, it's really quite easy to use these weapons. Melee, despite it's still not being as strong as your primary or secondary weapons, these definitely have been buffed to be able to hold their own. Alrighty, so that is pretty much the end of this complete weapons guide. Again, if you guys have any suggestions, anything you disagree with, please leave in the comments below with reasons why you disagree with it. Otherwise, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.